Hello, back for another video looking at the ABRSM jazz grades. This time I'm still on grade 1 and this is list B. So list B, I'll explore some of my favourite pieces in that list, give you some top tips, different chords you can play in the left hand, different rhythms you might use, scales that you can employ, rhythmical content from the tune that you can steal. And it's worth saying actually, a lot of people comment and say, can you keep the left hands the same or change them? You can change them. In my experience, all my students that entered the exams have changed the left hands. It's not been penalised one bit. Wayne Shorter, the great jazz musician, was asked to describe what jazz is, and he said, jazz is I dare you. So without further ado, let's have a look at list B. So let's start with Pedido, which in the solo section has got 1, 2, a 3, 4, 1, 2, a 3, 4, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now this D and F actually is acting as the 5th and the 7th of G7. So in bar 2 there, you might feel like you want to go 1, 2, a 3, 4, 1. Now you could have the root and the 7th, or you might just, I've got the 5th in there as well, or you might just want the root and the 7th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now we've got this D minor 7 coming up, but we could go 2, 3. So we've got the 7 there, or we could do a full 7. 2, 3. Then you could do, I could do G7 there and then into a nice C. Yeah, so interesting changes that you could do to the harmony there. So you could have a D minor 7 from the start actually as well. Here's another way of trying it. G7. You could even have the C. I prefer the root on the bottom there, I think. 1, 2, a 3, 4, 1, 2, a 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1. Here's the G7. If you did it like that, but if you did the D minor 7, you could have it there, and then the G7 there. So there's a few thoughts about the voicings for the left hand. You could have a kind of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. If you want the student, depending how good the student is. 1, 2, 3. You could have like a 4 feel. Yeah, that's quite nice, isn't it? So a possibility. You could even have a 2 feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Get the 2 feel in bar 3 there, naughty, but let's try again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. You could have the top note. So there's some options there as far as the left hand's concerned. Or you could try different notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there in the top, I'm just changing the note that I use on the 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. You might even try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2. Something else you could try. We have these notes from the associated board which are very nice for beginner students, those and those. On this C one, they'd recommend the C and the G. We've got to be careful because they're very much guided to the triad. If you want your solo to hang and last longer, you're best playing the 9th and the 6th. So watch when I approach the C there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Watch, I'll play the 9th. 3, 4, 1, 2. There you go, look. Doesn't sound cadence. Top tip there. If you want the student's solo to sound longer, or your own solo, start to aim for the 9th or the 6th. This is something you could practice, watch. 9th, 2, 3, 4. 9th or 2nd. 9th or 2nd. I'll do the 6th there. So that's a nice way of your solo, because now 2, 3, here I go. Look, it's hanging. Can you see that? Now it's not cadence. Whereas if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, it's cadence. But I don't want my solo to cadence yet. I want it to float more. So I'll hang on the 9th instead. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So there's a few tips in your solo. Rhythmical things, but I've talked a lot about this in my big associated board video, but you could work on getting a 4 feel, 1, 2, 3, 4 crotchets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Then work towards quavers, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then you may be able to try triplets as well, depending on the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great practice for the students. So there's a few tips on this piece. As far as I think you could be very straightforward with this. Just think of it all, the white notes. It's kind of hovering around what we call a Dorian scale. So I think that would be great for the students. We don't need to, it's only grade 1. So that will do for that. Let's see what's next. Okay, now let's have a look at Inchworm. I love Inchworm. Now let's just look at the left hand. It's in 3/4, of course. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. That's tricky bar 2. I generally with my students get rid of that syncopation. I just go 1, 2, 3, same again, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. You can put that in later. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. The notes here are good than the minor version. So get the student to play around with the major and the minor. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So they can experience that change between the major and the minor. With it being 3/4, you're going to have a few issues. Let me show them my favourite things. So that they can, and some of your other favourite 3/4 songs. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Keep that beat. Then 2, 3, 2, 3. Then try and go around that. Also steal things from the tune. You don't just have to use those notes. You could use, I love that idea of going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You might get a skilled student and might be able to move that up. Or might be able to do the minor on the way in. And there's a few tips. Steal some things from the tune. I love this. Why not start your solo? Put the minor in. Grace notes as well. They use a little bit of grace notes. That'd be lovely. Here's again. Let's have a look at another piece. Jean-Pierre, tricky one. It's got a rock piece. You know, you tread carefully with Jean-Pierre because this would be one which would more set with a band. If you want to listen, Mike Stern, the great American guitarist, there's a nice, great version on YouTube of him playing this. It's very rocky. Show the student that. It's on an album, We Want Miles, which is great, but Mike Stern, rock guitar, is really playing it well. It's fabulous. So we have this 1 and 2 and 3. And so we've got this off the beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Sometimes I might not do the staccato. If it's difficult for the student, I would suggest just getting rid of that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. I love this bit. It's great, isn't it? And then you've got. Okay, they recommend. Well, if we add one more note, we've got the A blues scale. So I would be using that as my idea. Try and match with that offbeat rhythm. If you're going to do the offbeat, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. So what I get the students here first to do is match this rhythm. At all costs, whatever happens, this matches that. Then after that, I'm trying to get them to play within the gaps. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. That's so important at first. And then from there, try and work them away, trying to play more notes. They might be able to go 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and like that, slightly off the beat. Great piece, lovely arrangement, and most young students really enjoy that. What's next? I'm just going to conclude with one more. Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby. It's quite a fast swing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Oh, it's got this drop in bass. so many songs do that kind of dropping bass, keeping the C low. So you could use the white notes predominantly here. I would be tempted, as per, I'm like a stuck record out, but I think it's really important to get, and the melody's so crotchety, to get these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, the more advanced student may be able to do this. Leave some space. Now there we've got the harmony of the D7 again, but we've still got the F sharp and the C. I'm not convinced about that. I think you should stick the D in the bottom there. This is bar 13 on Is You Is or Is You Ain't My Baby. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There's no harmony announcement here. I've done the 9th, look. Then it'll hang still. Yeah, so a good crotchet feel. Some students won't be able to get beyond that. So maybe do minims in the solo. 1, 2, 3, 4. A few crotchets. Minims, 2, 3. Maybe even semi-reads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you could pick up a crotchet on beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah, it's a great piece, but it's a complex one at this kind of tempo. But try and hold on to the crotchets. Do some minims. And then maybe some quavers if you feel brave enough. But certainly at bar 13. I'll put the D on the bass. When we do more videos about this, and I've done a few more on looking at associated board grade 5 a little bit, I'll put the links in the comments below. You'll find that we changed some of the left hand here. I think we need to be careful because this is beautiful, it's lovely, but here we don't get that D7 if we want to hear, and you might do G7 like that. D, F, G, B and C. And then we've got the C. They've kind of done with the C and E, which implies a C6, so you may want to put the C, the full C there, the C, E, G and A. And then we've got C7, you might want to put it all in there. There you go, I hope that helps. Subscribe for more. Thanks for watching, bye for now.